I'm not sure we're going to get anybody else. Neela, do you want to take over?
Sure. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Neela.
Who has work to show? Not
Where's
mine.
Ted? Hey, Ted.
No,
Not Janice. No. Okay.
What about Mike? What about Mike?
Mike
No.
said no.
Mike said,
I had my computer in for repair, got it back, plugged it in, and the monitor blew out.
oh no.
So I ordered a monitor. It came and I figured, oh, I'm going to be all ready for Zoom. And I plugged it in and it was the wrong type of monitor.
Oh,
So I ran over to Staples, bought one retail, hooked it up, but I haven't had a chance to add anything. So it's a long answer. See you next week.
Oh,
well,
You'll
that's
be
fine.
part of the
Do you
audience.
have your joke? Do you have your joke ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely.
Then he does have a
Well,
contribution.
Good.
Sure, that's fine. I have
Okay.
a good one too.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
it's a
hope
good-
so.
I could
Oh,
use
it's
a
a good
joke.
one.
I had a busy day.
As a matter
Doris,
of fact, since I'm not Zooming, I'll tell you two.
Okay.
You're
Doris,
cute.
would you like to start?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Doris, I loved your piece in the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think next time's show is made for you.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. The fantasy work.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, that looks really good. You were working on that before, and I really like it now.
That's
I liked it
awesome.
then, but this is really nice.
Great.
That's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, very nice.
See any of the stuff that's hidden in here?
I like the vibe of it. It's sort of very sort of mysterious, but not something that would upset you. It's mysterious but calming.
Soft, yeah.
Mm.
It's very soft. I wish I could jump on that bike and go for a ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does have that feel to it, doesn't it?
Mhm. Mhm.
I'd be too scared, quite frankly, because that's into the woods. It's not my thing.
You don't like the woods?
Well, I'll be frank. I have 7 acres of woods here, and I've never even been in it. You know,
Really?
in my own woods. Yeah, I mean, I went in one time, and then I got scared because I know for a fact there are bears in the woods.
Oh,
Oh.
you're
If
in
you go
that
down in the
neighborhood.
woods today,
am.
you find a surprise. If you go down in the woods today,
Today.
Well, you're an adventurous spirit there, Sarah. You're an adventurous person. I'm obviously a scaredy cat when it comes to going to the woods by myself.
yeah, but they don't. They don't really want you. Bears aren't interested in us.
Don't say that. I've had bears come to the house.
No, they want
Or
food.
were they? Were they guests?
Food. Yeah.
Nope. I had a cub when we had a dog, and luckily I didn't open the door. I looked out of my window first, and I saw what was like a black small dog, but it wasn't a dog. It was a bear cub.
Oh.
Oh,
And a week later, I had friends, and I was telling them the story, and they said, "Oh, geez, I wish we could see a bear." So we went out in the garden, and by golly, we did see a damn bear. It was the cub's mother up the
Yeah.
tree.
Ooh.
That was scary. And we were sitting right there under the bear that was up the tree.
Oh,
Oh, that is so
nice
nice.
detail.
Very
Yes.
nice,
Let's
Doris.
see the kitty cat there.
Really good.
That's right there.
It's a,
Cat. And there's a face over there.
Right. I see the faces.
Yeah, and
That's great.
the couple over here, do you see it?
Yeah.
Looking at each other.
Looks like a dog or a bison.
No,
Or
they're
something.
two people like staring at looking at each other.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Upper
Right.
left. I see it now. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
great.
there's a few people holding hands over here.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
Oh.
yes, yes.
See what what's in there. Yeah.
Is that a duck in the water on the left side? Is that a duck's head?
I don't think I put a duck. Do you see a duck?
It's in the middle, right in the center, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't. Got me there.
I like the colors. I like the colors. They're so soft. And then the blue of the bike really stands out, I think.
Because I guess everything else is green. Yeah.
Yeah, well, green and brown, gray.
Green and dull green, dull brown. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just adjusted my monitor so I could see the color better. It's really striking, Doris.
Yeah, isn't it good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Diane.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like, so the next thing I have here, these are a bunch of, these are painting sketches, quick paintings. These are a bunch of quick paintings.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Really nice. I like the one on
Like
the
paint
right
doodle.
and the one on the left. Reminds me of where I was just in Massachusetts.
Hmm.
These are like contemplative,
Very
like
much, yeah.
Ursula Van Ilf, very nice.
Lately I've been looking at a lot of Milton Avery's work, and the top right and the bottom left have very similar qualities to what I like about his work, which is just real simple form, like simplicity of form.
Well, it's strange that I picked those two as well, but for different reasons.
Mhm.
So what do you mean? What do you mean by they were quickies? How long did you take them?
Huh?
How long did it take for you to do them?
These?
Yeah, you said they were quick.
They were very quick. I don't think more than an hour each to max.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What does the lower right hand, what does that signify to you?
It's kind of like abstractly looking through a tunnel,
Ah,
and then you see the light.
Oh, no. I thought it was a
Okay.
volcano.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you're using it as a path.
Yeah.
Hmm. Somewhat Alden-like.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, it looks very spiritual.
Mhm.
Thought it looked like Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you, Doris. This is
You're
great.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like the trees as well. That's a nice.
Yeah, I like the tree one. I actually did like the perspective on
Yeah.
the tree one. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of a nice finished painting to do, just like looking up the branches.
Yeah, exactly. That's always a good way to do it. Yep.
Mhm.
They looked at the swirling sky, which was very interesting.
Next up, Don, do you want to go?
Sure. Of course, I don't see it. Where'd it go? Can you get back to me?
Sure. Kim?
Sure. All right, so we had to go back to Philly because I just have a few more from Philly I'd like to show you. And I'd like to tell you about a street that I've never seen before, which is right by the Plastic Club. It is between Pine and Lombard, and it is between, it is from 15th to 17th Street, and I thought I was in a wonderland. And I wanted to show you this. Now, you've seen the mural. I did collage in the mural, but I didn't collage in the scene. What I found interesting about this scene on that street, I don't know what the name of the street is. I think it was a number of different streets. Tiny streets between Pine and Lombard and 15th and 17th. Brilliant, beautiful. I enjoyed it tremendously. But I saw something on YouTube on architecture. So the title of this is Tenements in Town. And what you have here to me is what I saw in that video on architecture. Look at the tenement buildings. Now, this is a small one because all the ones in Philly are small, and the architectural series was in New York. The thing about tenements is they didn't have any windows. Look, they had windows at the front, windows at the back, and in New York, they were enormous, right? They were really gigantically high, and they were all slums. But the thing that interested me is where else in the world can you see these small tenements with all these buildings around it 5 minutes from the heart of the city? It's impossible. You can look, but you won't find it. It's not in Detroit. It's not in New York. It's not in Boston.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was going to, I thought you finished your sentence. I'm sorry, Kim.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, Diane.
Back in the 1960s and 70s, that area was a slum.
That's right.
That area was a slum?
Yes, it was.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think a lot of the cities in America were slums. They surprised me.
But there's areas all right around there were indeed very challenging areas. So
I see. Well, maybe that's why I never went down those streets ever before. And now I literally thought I'd wandered into a wonderland, and I'll show you in my other shots what I mean by that. So yes, there's this juxtaposition that's so unique to Philadelphia that makes it, in my opinion, really, really a very distinctive city.
Well, you know, the artist that painted that mural is the artist that did Michelle Obama's portrait for the National Gallery.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh.
What is the name of that artist? Do you know?
I was just going to look it up.
Oh.
I can see it. I can see
Yeah,
the
I think-
The same sort of.
Is she
super
from
style.
Baltimore?
Is it a she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's from
Yes.
Baltimore.
It's a female artist.
Yes.
That surprises me because females don't usually go that big.
Well, I think Michelle actually picked her.
Really?
Amy Sherrod.
No, I
Amy
meant that
Sherrod.
I mean this thing is this big around Jefferson. I showed it one day and I thought it would sort of fit the mood of this whole thing, the blue in the building and the orange in the sky. It just went with the whole thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it because it's so graphic.
Well,
And
I did try. Yeah, I tried to make it sort of, get the
Yeah.
lines and everything. I tried to do that. But I was magical. It was really magical. It was a magical half an hour. I had half an hour to kill and I killed it all right. It was beautiful. Okay, so next thing. Now remember, we're still on that street. We're 5 minutes from City Hall. And then you see this. What the heck? I mean, how would you see this in the middle of a city? It looks like somewhere in the country, does it not?
Mhm.
And that's what fascinated me about different parts of that street. It was amazing. I even saw a community garden back there. I never in a million years had expected to see what I saw back there. It was magical.
I love those bricks.
Yeah, the cobblestones.
You know,
you mean?
None of it doesn't surprise me because this city has so many unusual places when you talk about a group garden or different things. It wouldn't surprise me. There's everything in Center City, everywhere.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw a cornfield one day.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Somebody's backyard, yeah. It was all planted with corn.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's
great.
just massive with personality and creativity and the way
Yeah, and
people live
individuality too.
Yeah.
I call this gated community. But
That's great.
Mhm.
Perfect title. Perfect title.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
great.
Perfect.
okay, so then again, there's so much variety along that street. So I took this one.
Oh,
Mm.
that's fabulous.
Is that weird or what?
Mm.
You know, now you could say, you know, this is curved, but I was looking at this line and I was trying to make this line straight. Would be nice if I could make this straight at the same time, but the street was obviously slightly hilly or something.
Hmm.
Mm.
But I mean, it was all on the same, you know, the same trajectory of where I was headed. You had those three items that I just showed you.
That's great. That's so
Mhm.
good.
It's really nice, really.
Well, and I'm glad I found it.
Good job.
Yes.
Okay, so now, if you don't mind, I want to drag you back to those Boston flowers because I did them in a different way, and I just want your opinion on which way you like better. So this was the way I showed you last week. Okay, oops. Ooh, that's nasty. What the hell just happened?
It disappeared.
Yeah.
Magic. Magic.
Holy moly. Oh my. Maybe it was
Is it
meant to
into the
be.
file?
Maybe it
You
was
must
meant
have-
to. It doesn't matter. That's what I showed you last week. But then I redid it in a style transfer called Roy Lichtenstein or Lichtenstein.
Mhm. Oh, God.
Interesting.
And I put
I
a
like that.
canvas. I put a canvas finish on this. So I'm sorry I can't find the other one. But which one do you prefer?
I think I prefer the Liechtenstein.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This is
really
the
I
Lichtenstein.
like this one.
I like it, Kim.
I like it.
Well, I
Yeah.
liked it too. I actually liked it better than the other one. I'm sorry the other one disappeared. I don't know where it went, which is kind of scary. But let's not worry about that right now. Yeah, I kind of like that as well. I think I'm going to print it up large and see how it goes.
That
And if
should
you
be
look,
like-
there's a face here. If you look carefully, there's a face on the side here, and there's like a fish thing here
Yeah.
with a mouth. You see all those things? There's all kinds of things you can find in this version.
Oh,
of
yes. Look at that face. That's
the
incredible.
face, yeah, this
Yes.
face, right?
Yes.
This face. So there's
Yeah.
some interesting stuff here, you know? And I actually showed it to my friend Amy, the one that just sold in the other gallery, and she's Chinese. And she's first gen Chinese. She came in when she was 16. I mentioned that because her art is very Asian. It's
Oh.
very monochromatic. She uses blues and whites and blacks, very little color. And I knew this would offend her because it was so colorful. So I said, Amy, I'm going to soften it for you because I know this must be horrible for you to see. So I said, try this, and I'm going to show it to you.
Hmm.
And she said, well, Kim, I think I prefer this. I don't know if it was like, you know, what could she say? But she seemed to like this one. And now I think about it, I like this one myself.
Yeah,
So
I
do
like,
I.
They both work.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they
I'd
both
like you to
work.
show everyone that face, that
I
green.
know.
That's
The green-
so interesting.
I know. I thought so too. I thought there were things that you could find in this version. The other one was just, it disappeared, but there we go. And then my final thing is when I went to Boston, I was early at the airport and I plugged in my phone and I saw a YouTube video by that guy who, it's called The Photographic Eye. He's the one that said what to photograph when there's nothing to photograph. His advice that day was don't go with your camera to photograph something. Keep your mind open. Keep your mind open that you don't know what's going to happen. So when I came out of the art gallery, having seen Amy's show in Montrose, this is what I saw. I mean, this is not what I saw. This is what I did. Tell me if you like it.
I love it.
Mm,
Oh, I like it.
beautiful.
You know what this was? I walked out of the gallery. It was a beautiful day. It was about 3 p.m. I looked down at my feet and I saw that on the pathway, there was a flower that had fallen to the ground. It was on the ground, on the ground. So it wasn't standing up, it was on the ground. So I took a photo of it and that's what I did with it.
Mm,
Beautiful.
that's lovely.
Kim, it
That's-
fits the fantasy theme, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. Can
Looks
we do
like,
two? Can we do two on the fantasy thing?
No, I think only one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go with another thing that I did that is more fantasy because it even carries a really fantastic story to it. Not that I can tell it, but I had something else. But do you think this is like a fantasy then?
Well, I feel it from that.
Hmm.
I see it as a
Definitely.
a
Lot of
fabric.
rhythm.
a 1940s fabric.
I see a butterfly in the upper right hand.
Yeah, I do too.
So
Yeah.
that, it does look like a fantasy.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. It's just that I had something else in mind for the show because I don't do
That's
fantasy.
great.
Yeah.
It's great that you have more than one in mind. You know,
Yeah.
Okay, it's hard for
I just
me.
try to
because-
come up with one.
Well, I agree. No, for me, it's
too,
very hard.
Janice.
Very
For
nice.
me, it's very hard to come up with a fantasy thing because that's not what I do. But, well, thank you very much for your time, and I'll get back to Stop Share.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Kim.
Yeah.
Thank
Kim.
you, Kim.
Thank you.
So we've had. Don, are you ready
I
to?
think so. I think so.
Okay, let's try it.
There we go. I forgot I had closed it out earlier today.
Ooh,
So I have two
like this.
watercolors to show you. This one I did the beginning of the summer, and I was using, I don't know if you can see this, these watercolors. I picked them up at a museum,
Oh,
and what I really like about it is the back. It's the packaging, but the paints suck. So you can see how there's not a lot of saturation to it.
right.
And the palette is very, very dry. Not that they're useless, but it takes a lot more work. So I came back to the subject
Oh, nice.
and used the crying watercolors, which you can see offer a lot more saturation.
Yes.
And I also used the resist, the masking fluid on the fountain and the birds.
What
So
is
let me
that?
focus on the water.
What is resist?
Resist is a liquid masking fluid.
Yeah.
You paint it on like paint, and then it peels off.
No kidding.
It's really fun. So that gave the bright whites in the water, and it allowed me to do the birds with just really minimal paint. I put some water on it, and then put a dab of paint, and it would let it flow into the barriers.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm really getting a lot further from this, which looks very dry, even though it's the water,
Yeah.
Mhm.
to this one, which has a lot more liquid feel to it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I love your birds.
Thanks, I think it's great. I know you can't,
Yeah.
they're flamingos, but you're all eating, so. the
Yeah.
other secret is in the long necks. So that's what I did this week.
Was that a fountain?
Lovely.
Bravo.
It is. I shot this at Busch Gardens Amusement Park.
Oh, okay.
A lot of wildlife.
Ah,
Does it look
All
like
right,
a
cool.
I love the brushwork for, the direction of the water. It gives
Yeah.
it a nice flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it's, it does. It does look like it's gushing, doesn't it? It has that gushing
Yeah,
feeling.
very nice.
that's very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody's got a phone call.
I thought that was me.
Won't stop.
Okay, I'll take you down, Don.
All right, thanks.
Is that Don? Is that Don's?
It's Don's phone. Yeah.
No, it's not.
I tried. It wouldn't stop. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome.
threw the phone down the
I
hall.
gotta say, I'm really enjoying these reasons to do art.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what Bob does for us. He galvanizes us,
Yeah,
and we
it's
have
galvanizing.
to keep going, even though we think there's nothing more I can ever do. I always feel that way. I know, Sarah, you don't feel that way, but I wake up and I think, what more can I possibly do?
Yeah, me too.
And
too.
then I do something, you know.
Thanks. That's great. Let's see. Sarah, do you have work?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I do have a couple, but the only way I could think of a theme of what it's people. I don't usually do people, and it's real people, not
Not
mannequins.
mannequins.
No.
And so now this might seem a little silly, but I will introduce you to my father.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
You
And
did
we
a
were
picture
at
of
a
him
family
too, didn't you?
picnic, and he was being silly. So that's my father at a family picnic being silly.
Sarah, was your dad a
Wonderful.
generation immigrant, or was he like many years in America?
My father came over as a little boy and couldn't finish school, had to provide for his family. And he used to tell me how they didn't even have a bathroom at the house
No.
and that they had to go into the, out back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a wonderful man, not demonstrative, but I think I've written about this or I've talked about it. It was who he was that as a child you could see. He was proud and contented and happy and to him to have a house and furniture and a job and a family. I mean, he was a very contented, happy man. And I know Mike would vouch to that. He was a very nice man.
How wonderful, Sarah.
Sarah, didn't
Yeah.
you show us a painting you did of him not long ago?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I did a collage, yes, of him. I had, I think it was the paint samples that a hardware store man gave to me, and I have a large portrait of my father. And so using that as a guide, I made this collage of my father. And again, I'm older. My father was young. My father was killed by a drunken driver when he was.
Right. I remember you saying some horrible tragedy. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And so he never got old. My mother never got old. But
Right.
this is a picture I wanted to share with all of you because it was a day off. He was having a good time. He smoked cigars and he was making a funny face and he was sitting on the grass and he was happy.
Yes.
Nice.
Great.
That
Do you have
communicates.
do you have that picture in your home that you have in a handy place where you can look at it?
No, I don't have that picture up. I don't. I have that I keep that in my phone because that was really I like this picture where he's not being posed or told to be. He was just having fun.
It has a real sense of depth too, with the shoe coming out to the edge of the
Yes.
border.
Yes.
Hmm. And the other man.
Yes. We used to go to have family picnics. And if anyone is familiar with Burholm Park, that was one place that they went to years ago. And Washington State Park up in the Bucks County. And they, it was it's something from my childhood. Mike went on his first picnic with my family because his family didn't do things like that. Forgive me for laughing, but he went on his first picnic with my family. Is that right?
Wow.
So I wanted to introduce, and this was my first. I told you we were going to have real people tonight, not mannequins.
Indeed.
And
That's great, Sarah.
and Mike can vouch to the kind of person my father radiated. You know, I mean, he didn't play with his kids. He wasn't a huggy kissy, but he was a gentle, loving, beautiful man. And may he rest in peace. Now here is another one. This is a photograph of a photograph, but this is part in my living room. And I was looking at this particular scene one morning, and I realized
I've not seen a picture.
I didn't put it up yet.
Oh, okay.
And I just created, from what I looked at, I created a photograph.
Oh,
That's a nice
Wow.
photograph.
Very nice.
Yeah. An artist photograph.
Yeah, that's our TV cabinet. And I have that photograph that I did of Mike. And then behind the lamp is a mannequin photograph of mine, but somehow putting it all together, I just looked at it and I needed to save this particular scene.
Mm-hmm.
Very
It is
nice.
very beautiful. Yeah, very beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to take that down.
That's very nice.
it is.
I like
And
the,
pardon me?
I like the sepia coloring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. And then I have one more. This is kind of a person. Told you there was a theme. I'm learning about themes.
No,
Oh, that is wonderful. How about that one? Oh my.
Well,
Wow.
sometimes when I take a walk, you know that when you walk at a certain time of day, you see these
Mhm.
shadows.
Yeah,
And so
I do.
I filmed myself. I took a picture of my own shadow, which I'm sure many people do. But
Oh, no, I've done that, but it's always on a gravel road, and so I don't show it. But what's interesting about your picture is you have the trees framing you.
Yes.
yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
makes it unusual.
Yeah, I recognized you right away.
Right, we said, of course, that's Sarah.
Yeah.
You look
Right.
like you're wearing pantaloons or something. I mean, what are you wearing?
Yeah, what we used to call them pedal pushers.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
So
That's a amazing composition
it is. It's
Really?
beautiful.
with that
I think
the
you
diagonal at the
That's
bottom.
what I'm saying. The whole thing. It's the framing of it. You know, I've
Yeah.
done many on the road here of my shadow, but not like this because I don't have that, you know, all the other accoutrements available that you found.
yeah, so that's like a selfie of Sarah. But
Well,
I
that
took
is absolutely gorgeous, Sarah. I hope you make it into a big portrait and put it in your room. I would.
maybe
They should have a show of selfies, you know. I mean, it would be interesting to see
Yeah.
what people,
That would be a good theme.
yes. And this would be great.
Yeah.
This is very beautiful. I agree completely.
yeah, I enjoy the shadows that you see with the trees and the different times of day. And so it's I have more like this in different compositions, but so far this is really my favorite, and I wanted to share it with all of you with my people theme.
Yeah, it's outstanding, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That's great.
Good stuff.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay. Next up, Ted.
Okay. I just have one piece to show. My still life from last week at the workshop.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Ah,
Oh, that is good.
Very
Great.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
So dry pastel.
I think the
Yeah.
colors are stunning.
Yes.
They are.
They lead from one to the other.
Yeah.
Like the yellow in the background captures the orange, and then the blue bottle captures the blue on the table.
And the
I think it's lovely.
shadow.
Wait a minute, did you do that?
Mhm.
Did you paint all that pottery stuff?
It's pastels.
It's
No,
pastel.
no, what I mean is the pottery has holes and all as if it was real. It almost looks like a photograph.
Oh, the bottle?
yeah. If
Yeah.
I may
Yeah, the
speak
mug.
for you,
Okay,
Ted, he
call it the
does
mug.
paint
The
that.
mug, right, the mug.
You're talking about the blue thing.
No, I'm talking about on the left of the screen.
Pottery one.
The pottery one looks so real.
She was
Oh, it-
surprised at the detail.
The detail.
In there.
Oh,
So
I
move
see.
in again on the pottery.
Yeah, when you made a close up, I thought, wow, look at that.
Yeah,
That's extraordinary.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
extraordinary.
Yeah, that is amazing, and the orange as well.
Very organic bottle. It goes back and forth. I like that.
And there's a shadow there now. Now I see it.
great.
I like the colors as well. I think it's very beautifully
Beautiful.
composed.
How big is this?
The original page is 11 by 14, but I.
Yeah, that's
I
quite
cut
big.
it off.
That's quite big.
So it's a little smaller than that.
Hmm.
Yes, it's large enough, sure.
It's large enough for sure. Yeah.
The
Has a rhythm.
background
Has
color
a
is so
rhythm.
warm.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with the background. I wanted to get some variety
Mm-hmm.
in the background, different textures and colors. So that was fun.
Hmm.
Was
Very
this
nice.
one day's work?
2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. There's just such a rhythm
Beautiful.
to it.
Yeah.
Boy, if it was one day's work, Sarah, he'd be up for 24 hours, right? I mean, that is so complicated.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Well done.
Nice,
Well
Ted.
done.
Really nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Well done, Ted.
Yes.
Janice, do you have work?
Not that I'm going to show.
Okay.
Come on.
I was cleaning up my studio. It's still not ready for prime time.
Okay. We'll wait. Diane,
I have some more Harriets if people want to see those.
oh,
Sure.
good.
Yay.
We're
Janice is-
waiting for that.
Yeah, okay. So I have two Harriets. And my cat has been giving me a hard time tonight, so I'm sorry I kept bouncing around. I just want to say, Don, I went to comment on your painting, and then I realized I was muted. But then my cat distracted me, and I just want to say, Don, it was very sparkly, and
Thanks.
so I'm sorry I wasn't always present
Don't
tonight.
apologize. That's fine.
And now she runs away, of course. So let me share. And here we have Harriet at a local cafeteria. Harriet the Elegant Ghost helped herself to food from the plates of unsuspecting patrons who went to use the restroom, thereby verifying that even the most elegant among us slip into bad habits. So there's Harriet.
Oh,
You go to the restroom, she's going to steal your food. There you go.
Oh, God.
So my husband told me now he will never go to the restroom because he knows I'm going to steal his food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like her
here,
necklace. Very nice necklace.
I'm sorry.
Very nice necklace.
Oh, necklace. Yeah, she always wears that necklace, but it's usually different colors. So here she is. Let me make this bigger. I'm sorry. So this is called Harriet Fights Inflation.
Ah,
And this says, and this came out today, this one. Irritated by the high cost of groceries, Harriet the Elegant Ghost engages in creative solutions. So she's fishing.
Just fishing.
oh,
Oh, that's poignant.
So again, I guess I could blow these up a little more on here. I'm very but yeah, there she's fishing. And you know, the old saying, you know, give a man a fish or teach a man to fish or whatever that saying is.
Right.
So that's Harriet tonight and last week. And she's got more adventures coming up in the near future. So
I love these ghosts.
So
They're
do I.
wonderful.
they're great.
Yeah.
A quibble. Harriet the Elegant Ghost.
yeah.
When I write that, I use capital G for ghost,
yes.
and you have a lowercase g.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
I just note that. I mean, it's yours to do, but
But is elegant capitalized?
Yeah, elegant.
Yeah.
I guess I'm I guess in my mind, and again, I still haven't figured out where this came from. I guess I'm emphasizing the elegance more than the ghost part, but
mhm.
yeah, I guess as a title, it should, Bob, you're correct. It should, the G should be capital as well, but I guess for the sake of consistency, I'll you know, maybe one day it'll filter in and I'll do the capital G.
I am not correcting you, but
But
it just helps me understand.
Yeah, but no, technically you are correct. I mean, you know, because
Mhm.
yeah,
Except it shows her state of being
correct. Yes.
And it makes it less,
instead of part of her name.
and it de-emphasizes the ghostiness and
Yeah.
emphasizes the elegance
Yeah.
and the personality.
So, well, thank you, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. That was great. Love that ghost.
Yes.
So we have a small group tonight, so we are up to Bob.
Wow.
All right. And I have a small show today.
He was cleaning
I
his
didn't
room
do that
too.
much.
Oh, wow.
This is the Dion quintuplets.
Oh,
I don't know. Some of you
wow.
may remember them. They were a very famous.
do.
There's not that many quintuplets in human race, and they were very famous and overhyped in the 50s. So this is a picture of them as young girls, and in the background is one of them today.
Oh my gosh.
Are they still
Laura
alive?
look-alike.
At last thing I heard, two of them are still alive.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
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 How old would they be now, this lady?
Pretty
I think
like 90
80,
something.
81 or so. I'd have to check.
No, older. My mother knew about these.
Ah,
Yeah, they were older than me. And so it has to be
Mhm.
up toward the 90s.
Wow.
Mm.
okay. And let me go in for a little detail work, because I always like I always like the texture
Mm.
and
Hey,
frame
Bob,
and
they were born
everything.
in 1935.
I like
Ah.
the face, the texture of the face of the current portrait or the portrait
Yeah.
of. I love the texture of that face,
Right.
and the color is beautiful.
Yes, yes. That's
So,
there's a different texture on the old picture and on the new picture.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
it really works on her face.
yeah, it's really
yeah.
terrific.
34.
All right. And next, let's see. First, let me take you to show you where I got this image from. This is on Internet Archive. This is a Romanian book from 1978. I guess in Romanian, develop area, I think means dark room. But anyway, that was my source of these pictures.
Mm.
And I chose two pictures from that book. This photograph of buildings, and this photograph of four girls working over a microscope.
Mhm.
And I overlaid them and
Oh,
got
nice.
this
But it's
very complicated
really
color work on
abstract.
this.
It's almost a true abstraction.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. To just look at it would be an abstraction,
Mhm.
but I thought I'd demonstrate how I got there.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Very nice.
Nice
Interesting.
job.
Interesting.
All right, that's it for me. It's been a quiet week.
Okay.
Oh, I think you did a lot.
Yeah,
yes,
Thank you.
everybody did a lot. Very good.
yeah, I did too. Believe
We
me.
all feel that way.
About your studio, cleaning your studio.
Oh, yeah, that counts. And
Very-
I don't have anything to show tonight. I put my work into a book show that just opened at the Free Library, looking for our new normal.
Oh, we're going to be looking for that a long time, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
In our lifetimes.
Is that library on the Parkway?
Yeah, the one on Logan Circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So next week I'll put up a picture of what I have there.
Great.
And I
Great.
guess we're ready for Mike's jokes.
Yes.
Are you ready, Mike?
Oh, I'm ready for these. A man goes to the doctor, and he says, "Doctor, you have to help me. I think I can see into the future." Doctor says, "When did this start?" Man says, "Next Friday." And the next one I think is
Pretty good.
my best audience. A woman in labor goes to the doctor, and she's up on the examining table, and all of a sudden she shouts, "Shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't, didn't, can't." She looks at the doctor and says, "Don't worry, those are only contractions."
All right.
That's it, folks.
That's a good one.
Do you have a source? Do you have a book of these, Mike, or do you make them up?
Well, it's a combination of both. Most of them I find somewhere, but then sometimes I'll just get a thought from that and go with it.
Oh, nice.
And
nice.
Somebody told me once I think funny, and I think I do. Sometimes inappropriately, but I think I do. But no, most of them I steal from somewhere just to entertain.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we enjoy them.
Thank you, Mike. These were good. These I
Good.
like.
See the birthday
Good.
jokes.
Good.
Yeah, I'm always afraid he's going to tell one that maybe he shouldn't.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't so far.
He
I've been
hasn't so
very good.
far.
I've been very good. I want to come back. I want to be invited back. So
Right. Got it.
Anybody have
Okay.
any announcements or news?
Well, the Matisse show is opening at the Philadelphia Museum.
Yeah, Susan said she had been to it, and maybe she went to a preview on Sunday.
Sunday morning, yeah, she said
Yeah,
that.
that sounds absolutely fabulous. How long will it be on for, do you think, Neela?
So January.
I'm not sure about the dates.
January.
January.
Fine, so I might actually be able to go see it.
Yeah.
Can you go any day to the museum or?
Any day. They're not open Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
Tuesday,
right.
Wednesday, and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday is no good, but Monday is okay, and maybe
Yeah.
Thursday. I'll have to remember that. I know we got caught Tuesday at the Barnes Collection with a friend of mine from Argentina. We went there and it was closed.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
They
Check
settled their,
the dates.
They said
Nice. I would love to
On the
go. I like to
website.
go when there's no one there, like on a weekday.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been up there a couple times in the last couple of weeks, but they've been protesting up and down the street, so I didn't
Oh,
go.
for what? About what?
labor over money.
Money?
Yeah, but they reached an
Working
Hang on,
agreement.
what money?
Oh, they
Pay
They're
for
being
people that work
paid.
there.
they
All the
came
money
to
goes
some-
to the top.
Well, yeah. The people at the art museum just settled their union
Yeah.
strike.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So they're back at work.
So you're probably not going to have that going on.
Yeah.
Good.
That's all cleared up.
Ah,
I guess I just want to remind everyone that the Plastic Club will host a blog panel on this coming Sunday, and Bob and some of our other regulars in this group will be part of
between
that.
1 and 3,
I
like
believe
usual.
it's, I have to look it up. It's either 1 to 3 or 2 to 4. I forget.
Yeah.
But it is up on the website.
Look it up. Okay. A blog panel. Okay.
And so just a reminder about that.
Good.
Okay.
We
Okay,
will all
Sunday.
be there.
Ah,
We'll be
Hope
taping
Alden will
it.
be back.
Yeah, well, he is part of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the photography show continues.
Mhm.
Okay.
They've been having an opening every week. So
I just want to mention that Amazon has a set, not a documentary, but a docudrama about the life of Robert Mapplethorpe, whom I heard about. I had no idea who he was. I didn't know he was a photographer. It's such a dark story that I have to stop after about 15 minutes and process, as he descends into, he died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Age of, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
42, 43, I don't know, maybe in the 90s he died.
Yes.
And he was very celebrated. And I'd heard his name, but I didn't know who he was. So
Very controversial.
very
Yeah.
controversial.
Yeah, very controversial.
But an
his,
excellent photographer. I mean,
his,
really.
his series on plants,
Yes.
flowers were gorgeous.
Yeah.
Plants?
Hmm.
That work.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, he had a beautiful show at ICA
Mhm.
on the Penn
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
campus here. And I remember it was so quiet. Everybody went in, they saw the work, nobody said anything.
Mm.
And then the next day there was a furor when it moved on to its next stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yep. It went to court. I mean, it was really, I believe I feel like it went to court, where
It was a hot potato.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But it was funny. Yeah, it came and went at the IC with nothing, like not a word. You're right, Neil. It was like, you know,
You wouldn't have known what was coming.
yep. So,
And now, whenever I go into MoMA, they have a wonderful exhibit of his little Polaroids. I just
Oh,
love
right. That's
see
what the
those.
series is about right now, and the show is about his Polaroids.
Yeah, I love those.
I
Really
remember a class I took on censorship, and I had to go view those photographs, the ones that were causing the big stink. And at that point, they weren't on display anymore, but the library had a book of them. The free library had a book of them. So I had to go look at the book. And because of the stink around, I was so humiliated to ask for this book, which,
Oh.
you know,
Oh.
and but I did. And then I went off to a corner because I didn't want anyone to see me looking at it.
So nobody would see you reading.
Right. So it was, yeah, it was, but again, if it wasn't for that incident, I probably just would have gotten the book, sat there and said, okay, this is
Yeah.
what, and that would have been that. So
Yeah.
You didn't take it into the ladies' room, did you?
no, I did not. And I didn't even know, like I think it was a reference book. So I don't think you were allowed to even leave, you weren't allowed to check it out. So, yep.
It's funny what you remember about these shows, and you know, I didn't see anything bad with everything that was being shown. They were just poses.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was getting government in the way that really stirred things up.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Cincinnati where it caused the stink. And
Cleveland,
that's,
I
I
think.
guess, far more conservative, especially then, I would
Midwest.
assume. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, everybody remembered his name for at least a day.
There you go.
Yeah, really.
All right, it's 8:05. Shall we say goodnight?
Good
Night,
night.
everybody.
everyone.
Good
Good
night,
weekend.
everybody.